Hi everyone, it's Cindy. Welcome back to Studioloo. I am here today with thrift haul video, Thrifty Thursday, Thrifty Canucks. Check my description box down below for more details on those fun thrifting collabs on YouTube. I'm starting today with this book. I went to a little library, local library book sale, and children's books were $5 for $1 and adult books were $1. So I got all sorts of great books, for a few for like the studio and for like reading, but mostly I was focused on getting a ton of children's books for my little free library restocking. So that's what I did. This one is too wide to fit in my library. I had gotten it for the library, but I think I will keep it, read it to the kids, and then probably use it. It's called Migrant. And the reason I say I'll use it is because if you look at the illustrations inside, they are pretty wonderful. I have yet to read the story, so if it's a good story, it may become a journal. You know, it's got these lovely fairy people and sleepy cats and dogs, and I like the illustration style very much. Love her. That was the page that I opened this to, and I was like, okay, we need this book. So yeah, it looks like a wonderful book. So it is written by Maxine Trottier, pictures by Isabelle Arsenault. Okay. Today's thrift haul is going to be so random, so completely random. I'll start with the first random thing. So this isn't really a thrift haul as much as a found objects haul. So we have this little beach not too far from where I live that basically has a lot of washed up brick rocks from an old brick company. I found this brick and I really liked it because of these ridges, and I thought what a wonderful rest for my brushes when I am painting. It's just a natural brush rest. So that is my happy find for the day. Then I have this bag here. This was kind of the haul that I made with my daughter. We collected some of the brick rocks, and they're cool because you see they have rock in the middle and then brick on the edges, and I don't really know the story of why these have this kind of sediment, but then I got some just normal, you know, normal kind of rocks that are also brick little guys. So yeah, we got like a whole bag of these, all sorts of fun ones, and you know, you can make pendants or buttons with these, that kind of thing. So that being said, I'll set my rock pile aside and we'll move on. Okay. So next thing I have is this little bag of sewing notions. It was $2, and I thought there's some nice things in here, so let's check it out. So we have little vintage floral button. That's a real charm. I love that. Then there are, I think, 4 of these in here, but there's 3 right there. Those are also nice vintage buttons. These ones are gorgeous. They're like raccoon, you know, kind of color. A couple of them are abalone, maybe all of them. Really nice. Then this crochet trim looks like a collar. Yeah, it's a collar. Vintage yellow buttons. Bonnie blue. That's really nice. That whole thing together is very nice. Metrics Made Easy. This little measuring. You can, you know, check all the different measurements, miles to kilometers, ounces to grams, pounds to kilos, Fahrenheit to Celsius. I can use the Fahrenheit to Celsius. I'm always like, when I'm taking my children's temperature, I'm always like, what is that in Fahrenheit? These little teal buttons. A really pretty snap pack from Clinton Snap Fasteners. These little fasteners, hook and eye fasteners, an English brand. And then there's that 4th button that goes with those ones. More snap fasteners on a fun Mayflower package. This is DeLong fasteners and Nui's Imperial. And then, oh, another of those little blue buttons. That's great. I love those, actually. They're so pretty, right? Awesome. So yeah, that is those. Put all those away in my cabinet. of sewing things and such. Okay, set this over here. Next is this book. So this is Canadian Wildlife Almanac. I got this one at the book sale. No, I got this one at the thrift store. So it's got really lovely, it's like the whole thing is like sepia. And it is from 1981, but it looks older. Freshwater fish, birds, all sorts of just beautiful drawings, old drawings. And it's done like in the seasons, the fauna of Canada. So we start out with January, and we have this big buck here, and a Canada goose, of course, duck count, the calendar, and they have like different nature events that happened. Like on the 4th of January, Alan Brooks, Canadian ornithologist, died, and in 1946. On the 17th, a pygmy sperm whale recorded in Canada, dead specimen under ice in Halifax Harbour, Nova Scotia, 1920. The 29th, William Pope collection formally opened at the Toronto Public Library in 1917. So all sorts of really great, like, historical kind of stuff. And then, like, stories about, like, some different animals. Like, here you have a gray jay and a story about a gray jay. And, yeah, I feel like I'll probably want to read this book. Then I found a really awesome treasure. So I've got the little Sizzix die cut machine. What's it called? I forget. You know, the little tiny one. And these are the extra long plates that go with it for doing like the long dies. And I'm guessing because these people like marked up their plate because they put their die upside down, that they were like, oh, I can't use this anymore. Well, let me tell you that yes, you can, because I'm an expert at doing this all the time with my plates. So these can definitely still be used, and I will give them a happy home. Then I got this really cute vintage fabric. It is some kind of like a poly fabric, but there's 1.5 meters wide by 1.57 meters long. And see, it's all like veggies and flowers, like radishes, peas, pea plants, mushrooms, flowers. It's just really pretty. I love the colors. I think it's just great vintage. It's definitely probably a poly. Then a pack of cards. So these are Bicycle 1885. They're not that old, but the packaging has that on it. It doesn't say anything about the collection. They're plasticized, but they have this on the back. They're cool. And then the front has neat faces on, and even the suits are interesting, different looking. The numbers are different looking, and there's a couple of these. Okay, so the United States Playing Card Company has been crafting beautiful cards. In 1885, when it came time to name a new deck of cards, a young pressman commented how bicycling was growing in popularity, and the Bicycle brand was born. So bicycle cards started in 1885. So that's what this is all about. Okay. And then I got this little triple pack of gel notes. So I always grab these when I see them because it's like, it's free black paper, you know, like that. It's always good to have this black paper. I like doing little watercolor, iridescent watercolor and things with this kind of paper. Then I got this beautiful fabric. I think I'll probably make myself a dress with. It's gorgeous. So there is 3.5 by 1.10 meters wide. And it is so pretty. It is Joanne Kessler for Concord Fabrics Inc. So it's a beautiful fabric. Or is it Joan Joan Kessler, sorry. Yeah, Joan, not Joanne. Joan. I was thinking of Joanne's. I recently was on Instagram the other day, and did you know, I think maybe it's in California, there's a fabric store called Nacho Ann's, like not Joanne's, but it's nacho, like nachos, and the people have the coolest sense of humor, and they're really funny. So check them out on Instagram, because I cracked up when I saw Nacho Ann's. Then I got this little box, those Space Maker little kids kind of boxes, and when you open it up, there is a ruler inside, but there's also this little natural paper box of these wood pencil crayons, and I love these. I love adding these to journals, like having one of them with a journal that has a nature theme. It's a nice little add-on. I've done that with a few of my books, where I send one of those along if it's a nature journal. Okay, then this gigantic book. So I had to get this, Lost Divas by Andre Toubouf. Why did I have to get it? Well, I want to use it for a specific thing. I want to make a boiled book with it, because I did that a couple years ago, with like a book of kind of like movie starlets. This book's from 2005. And the paper is enormous. Like, I can't even really fit, the whole thing in here. It's probably like, I'm going to say like 15, 16 inches long. Let me see, what is my ruler? So there's 12, 13, 14. Yeah, like 15 and a half inches long by about 10 and a half. It's a humongous book, but it's got all these beautiful women: Fanny Heldy, Maria Jaritza, like all 1800s, photography, Lena Cavalieri, Claire Dew, Emma Calva, Maria Kuznetsov, Berta Morena. Yeah, this 1800s, early 1900s. Amazing. Beautiful women. So, what do I mean by boiled book? Well, you take images like this, right? And you lay leaves down. You can do patterns, like you can do eucalyptus leaves, maybe in a circle around her head, and you're going to get those leaf markings. And I find that the black and white imagery, along with like the leaves themselves, it's just a very beautiful outcome. And then it looks like this had a record in the back, which is really interesting, or a CD, I guess. Yeah, it would have been a CD, but this made it look like a record. Sadly, the CD is not there. So they were all, I guess, singers, probably opera singers. I don't know. I haven't done enough research. I've had a long week already. Then, Voices of the Wild, or From the Wild, An Animal Sensogoria by David Bouchard, paintings by Ron Parker. This book is from 1996, has verses in it, like poetry and beautiful painting illustrations. This owl, and it's like nature type poems, and they're senses. Sloth, so cute. But yeah, very, very pretty. Okay. Then we have this book, Litchfield, The Most Beautiful Women. And I got this at the book sale, the dollar book sale. So again, my theme, I guess, this week is beautiful women. But this one is kind of a little more modern. I want to use it for pretty much the same reason, though. I want to do a boiled book with it. It'll also be very interesting because there's color to this one. So, yeah, just lots of beauties. And And then this book I found is funny. A Beginner's Guide to Immortality from Alchemy to Avatars. Maria Birmingham, illustrated by Josh Hollanati. And so it's like a children's-ish kind of book. 2015. Find an elixir or other magical substance. It's got cool images and like interesting like writing about things like immortality, you know. Great images. Probably something I could definitely work into like Halloween, other things obviously, but just lots of neat stuff. But essentially it's around immortality and the afterlife and that kind of stuff. And then I found this book. I've had it before. And it's a bird book. But it's a really good one. And I had to get it because, like, I know I have a lot of bird books, but, like, this is a good one. And it was at the dollar sale. Birds, Their Life, Their Ways, Their World. It's such a great book. That's the cover if you're interested. It has that gilded bird down there. The illustrations are by Ad Cameron. And it's from 1979. A good year. It starts out kind of like information, and then you get into amazing birds. Like, I just flip a little further in here. So this is what's typical of this book. So it's like fussy cutting galore, amazing fussy cutting. I actually just used this page in my Songs of the Sea journal. And this one too. Have to replace it. You know, we can't use anything up and not have it anymore. We have to. But I mean, you know, I might with this, like, I still have room on my shelf somehow. I'm like, how do I still have room on my shelf for bird books? But I could just process this and cut it down and put them all in a bag, because how often do I use birds in my work? All the time. I love birds. Next, I have another book from the book sale, and this is The Magic of Trees. You guys would actually be proud of me. I walked away from so many coffee table books, like huge books. I just did. I'm like, I don't need it. I didn't even need to go to this book sale, but I really wanted to. Because it's like, yeah, it's a good book sale. And it supports the library. So this is all beautiful tree art, paintings, all different artists. You know, backgrounds. Amazing backgrounds, right? You can put all sorts of things on these backgrounds. I also just think it's interesting and cool to see how many different depictions of trees there are. I love this one. Georges Baselitz. Just so many ways that trees can come into our lives through art. And then some sculptures. So that is that book. Then another pack of cards. This one just said on it, Calm Club. I opened it because I was like, what the heck is this? You know, I had to at least see it if I was going to buy it. So I didn't go through the whole thing, but it's kind of cool. It's like yoga poses, like corpse pose, cat pose, legs up the wall pose, all these different yoga poses. And I actually, like, so the back, they look like this. They all say Calm Club, and they have some kind of nature-y kind of thing going on. And guess what? I'm actually going to use them in my yoga practice. I'm not going to use them in a journal. I know, right? What's going on? But yeah, they were a nice little find. They're going to become part of my bedroom kind of evening yoga practice when I'm needing to kind of calm down, but also do something a little bit to move my body. Then this was a 50-cent bag of just randomness, and I thought it looks pretty enough to get, so let's do that. So it has this beautiful little gauzy scarf with little sequined floral bits on it. Just a scrap of fabric, like, but it's probably from like a scarf or something. Then this is just some amazing gold lace, like with like gold lame and like just nice floral, interesting. I'm trying not to buy fabric right now because your girl's got some fabric. And then this is some sequins. They're really fun, kind of grungy gold. Like this whole thing, I feel like it could become a journal. This package, like it just wants to, you know, do something. And then this lovely iridescent, then some silvery sequins, just great scraps, a little bit more. And then just some gold kind of rigidy trim and silver. That kind of, I don't know what you call that pattern, that kind of back and forthy kind of pattern. And that was 50 cents. So I thought that was a nice little bag of randomness. Kind of cool. Okay, and then a couple more things. So do this one first. So this is the Alaska, the Last Frontier book of postcards. They're photograph postcards, and they're just so beautiful. I had to grab them. Lovely, right? I haven't got postcards in a while, but just nice shiny scenes, moose and owls and puffins, flowers, a porcupine, all sorts of good stuff, all the Alaska things. And last but not least at all is this. So this is from my antique store that I go to where I get my cabinet cards from. And I got some more cabinet cards. So look at her. Suspension Bridge, New York. Isn't she beautiful? Just love her. A Myers portrait. Look at her bangs. Aren't they adorable? She with her little curls on the side. And then these ladies here. J. Lautenschlager, New Hamburg, Ontario. Detroit, Michigan. Nice back on that one. No location that I can see, but I like this one. I like the weathering of it and her dress. And this gentleman here from New Hamburg. This is from D. Lautenschlager again. And this one's kind of cool because it's a side view of her face. And I just overall like it. It's really nice. Green & Co., 12 King Street, Berlin, Ontario. And then this little family. I like the little girl in the front. She's so cute. This is Aunt Katie and Hi Wepler. And that's also Lautenschlager in Hamburg. Almost said hamburger. So this is M. Stoltz, Mother and Aunts. Someone's mother and their aunts from Berlin, Ontario. And this guy and her, I just thought she was really interesting. This is a tintype. It's Augusta Wepler at 18 years old. Also from Lautenschlager or Schlager, New Hamburg. And her, I just think her hair is so funny. It's so cute. Like it's so like tightly tied up, and she's probably wearing a morning dress. And then this big one. I thought she was lovely. She just looks like such a scholar, but I think she also may have like a morning dress on. So that is my haul of cabinet cards for today. I did not find as many as I'd hoped to, but these things kind of, they're getting harder and harder to find, especially like at an affordable price. So I do try to keep getting them when I find them so that I can share them in digitals and things like that. So that being said, that's my thrift haul for today. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're all doing well. And until next time, I hope the thrifting fairies are with you. Bye for now.